Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I want to discuss Destiny 2 Season 23, Season of the Wish. So before I continue, Season of the Wish began November 27th, and it was actually an extended season. So it was originally supposed to end during February, but unfortunately, due to the Bungie team needing more time for the final shape, what was once supposed to release in February got extended to June 4th. So right now it's actually May 26th. So by the time, let me quickly pull up the calendar. So that by the time May 28th comes around, so in 2 days, we'll be one full week away from the release of the final shape. What also makes season 23 a little bit special is the fact that it's actually going to be the last season of Destiny. So in case one is unaware, Bungie is going to use a new live service model. In the past, we will get 4 seasons with every major expansion, but now that's going to be tweaked a little bit. Rather than getting seasons, we're going to be getting elements or new activities called episodes. I believe it's still going to be 4 episodes, but they're going to be a bit shorter compared to the seasonal model. To be frank with everyone, I haven't really looked more into the new episode model because I just want to experience Destiny as it comes out. So I'm going to be focusing on season 23. So what was my thoughts and opinions about Destiny season 23? I'll be frank with everyone. I was a bit more lukewarm towards this season, and it's not really towards the storytelling's fault. It was more towards the gameplay element. I was starting to get a bit burnt out from Destiny. I started playing with Beyond Light, so around 2020. So for me, it's only been about 2 to 3 years. So I couldn't even imagine for those players who have been with Destiny since Destiny 2 released, and even those players who have been with Destiny since Destiny 1 released. With that being said, though, the narrative elements that was included for Season 23, I did enjoy and appreciate. For example, it was really awesome to discover that Riven had a mate, a boyfriend/husband of sorts, who went by the name of Tyrannus, or who went by the name, that is his name, Tyrannus. It was cool to discover that the Witch Dragons had the capacity. I believe in the lore it was already implied, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was awesome that it was confirmed that the Witch Dragons, they chose to act as a monkey's paw towards the people that they worked with. And it's not because, as we know, hopefully from the lore, I'm assuming that we probably are aware about this, but as we are already aware of, these Witch Dragons didn't do that because they were just being jerks, right? They weren't just trying to be like cran suckers. They were doing that because that's how they got their sustenance. In order for them to survive, they needed to make deals, but they got more energy, more sustenance from those wishes, from those deals, when they twisted it in such a way that they caught the people off guard. But Tyrannus apparently didn't live his life like that. Whatever deals, whatever wishes that he made with the human individuals he encountered, he kept them just as is. So I'm not sure this implies that maybe he got, well, obviously he did get less energy from those wishes, less sustenance. It didn't make him weaker. He made the choice. So it makes me wonder if that means that he had to do more wishes in order to sustain himself, or if maybe instead of getting a large, he was just getting a regular sized meal. Hopefully that makes sense. It was also cool to discover that Riven, she respected Tyrannus for the way that he conducted his wish deals, and they actually had babies together. I always did feel a little bit bad about the Arakamaru, the fact that they were hunted down and essentially genocided by the Guardians and the Awoken. But it made sense why they would go after these creatures, because they were quite dangerous. But it was always kind of sad to think that Riven was the last Witch Dragon. And again, she was imprisoned by Mara and then taken by Oryx. And it's really great to find out that this is not the end of the Amakamaras. Excuse me. We discovered, I believe there were 6-7 eggs that Tyrannus and Riven laid with one another. Actually, it might be less legs than that. It doesn't matter. There's eggs is the point. So it's cool to see that the Arakamaru race is going to continue after this. I'm really curious to see where the story leads from here. I won't lie with everyone. I do think that this is a good conclusion for the Amakamaru storyline, but it wouldn't surprise me if we continue this thread and an episode with Destiny in the future. But if we do continue this thread, this plot thread, I really hope Riven won't be vilified again, or the Amakamaras in general won't be vilified, but rather will be continue to work with them and maybe even trying to figure out a way where the wishes could go along more swimmingly rather than along the lines of being a monkey's paw wish. With that being said, though, I had to say that's probably... I also like the exotic weapon that came with this season. I forgot what it's called, but it's a bow. And essentially, a Wish Keeper, I think it's called. Essentially, that bow is Tyrannus. He made himself into the bow in order to support the individuals who want to support the Emma Kamaras. So I thought that was a really cool detail, and I really did appreciate that. But with all that being said, I have to say that I think that's probably the only element of Season 23 that I did enjoy. I did not participate in the Guardian games this year. I believe that was during Season 23. I did participate in Iron Banner. I do like how Iron Banner had 2 modes to select from this time. I forget specifically what the modes are called, but one where kill confirmed, essentially, one who's ever played Call of Duty. I haven't played that in so long, but it's funny how I still remember the mode's name. Oh, Supremacy. In Destiny, it's called Supremacy. There we go. So essentially, when one kills another Guardian, you have to pick up their crest, and that's how one scores points. So you could collect the crest from your teammates, so your enemy team won't score. And then, of course, the typical Iron Banner mode was just control, but with not control. I'm sorry, but where it's you have to. I believe it is control. I was primarily playing Supremacy. I like that mode more. I also did participate in Into the Light. I thought the concept was really cool, really fun. But I won't lie, I'm not sure if I was just unlucky. But when I do the regular matchmaking for the easy or the regular onslaught mode, people always it seems to end after 10 rounds. I do wish it went all the way to 50 rounds. I do try using the Fire Team Finder for Legend mode for onslaught. But again, I've come to notice, I've only done it about 4 to 5 times, but I've noticed a lot of Guardians tend to leave after the first 10 rounds for whatever reason. Sometimes they do stay, so there's only 2 members, but then we have to find a 3rd member. So I do wish, as always, I wish there was matchmaking more for the other modes beyond just the basic modes. But for whatever reason, Bungie doesn't like to do that. Like, for example, if you do a Nightfall, only the easiest mode. Or the lowest light mode has matchmaking, but the other 2 modes does not. I'm really hoping that changes in the future. But from when I did play Into the Light, I did enjoy and appreciate it. I do wish that there was new voice lines or credit for it. I see why that new voice lines weren't used, because it does feel a little bit out of place how supposedly we're doing Into the Light, we're doing Onslaught to protect the last city, but the comments that Shaxx is making is just a little bit too lighthearted. It's like we're showing up the last city for an invasion against the Traveler's greatest enemy, the Witness, and the Witness's forces. But Shaxx is still making comments like, that was amazing. Oh, you're gonna make them fearing you. I can't remember the line specifically. One plays, you know what I'm referring to. So that's my only slight complaint. Not a big one, just the commentary, the dialogue. I wish it reflected the heavy nature of what's occurring. I mean, it's called the Final Shape. It's called the Final Shape because it's not just the solar system that's at stake. It's the whole universe that's at stake, right? It's the Traveler versus the Witness. The Traveler's chosen ones, or the Guardians versus the Witness's chosen ones, or the Hive, the Taken, and I'm sure there's the Hive of Scorn, and so forth, right? But when you play Into the Light again, I just wish the dialogue just reflected the weight of that, of what the Guardians are getting ready for. So then, did I enjoy Season of the Wish? I did enjoy it a bit more than the previous season, Season of the Deep, which is kind of ironic because Season of the Deep had the information about the Witness, but that was only, in my opinion, the best part. I was really excited to learn more about, fortunately I forgot the not the dragon, but the Asha, I believe her name was, from Season of the Deep. I was excited to learn more about her, but we didn't really get much information. Just that she's she's the remaining one of the last remaining Leviathans, essentially, possibly, and maybe she's the precursor to the Hive Gods being twisted or becoming a Leviathan. Excuse me, I'm probably getting the lore incorrect about that. I had to go back and refresh myself. But would I recommend Season 23? I have to say, if one doesn't yet own Destiny 2, at this point, surprisingly, I'm have to say, I will hold off in joining the Destiny community into the Final Shape releases, especially because there's only 1 week and 2 days left into Season 23 ends. Once this season ends, the previous seasons will be removed, and all that will be left would just be the expansions, and the seasons will be, again, removed from the storytelling. So if one does not have Destiny 2, I do not recommend purchasing it just yet, not because I dislike it, but because of the seasonal model with everything being removed. Once the Final Shape does release, I'll wait. I'll be completely honest with you guys, with everyone. I did lose a little bit of my hype. I not yet have pre-ordered the Final Shape, but I more than likely will be pre-ordering it. The promotional material that's been coming out with it's been helping me to regain that excitement that I had lost, and I really am looking forward to the conclusion of the Destiny story. So fingers crossed, the Final Shape will be a lot of fun, a really strong conclusion to a story that I've been enjoying for the most part. And yeah, let me know if you guys would be participating with the final ship or if you're going to hold off a little bit. Again, my plan is right now, I more than likely will be pre-ordering it and then checking out and then playing it through the first day when it comes out. Hopefully, usually I understand that there's usually server issues. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'll see everyone Starside.